Today we're going to do something a little bit more fun. We're going to, I don't know, would you call it fun?
We're so fun.
Yeah, it's not fun.
We are fun.
Oh, you're fun. I'm not fun.
Yes, you are. I have a good time.
Well, that's good. You have a good time because you're here, though, not because
No.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Anyway, my idea of fun today is we're gonna do a fact or fiction episode. So what this means is that we're gonna take you through, I think it's like 8 or 10 different topics and talk you through whether it's a fact or whether it's fiction and false, so that you can learn a little bit more about health and fitness, especially because like there is so much new information always coming out, and I think it's important for people to like learn what's real and what's not. So let's get into it. I've got the first one here, which is tracking your food is obsessive. Fact or fiction?
I personally don't think there's a I don't think there's a one word answer to that.
Don't be diplomatic.
No, but
Fact
I
or
truly
fiction?
I believe that for some, like, it depends on the phase you're in. It depends in terms of your mindset.
Okay.
Depends where you're at with your relationship to yourself, your food. And I think that it just depends. Like, it's not the action of tracking itself that is obsessive. It's the way that you're approaching it. So that's how I see it, because I don't think it's for everyone.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, but I would call it fiction because exactly what you just said, tracking your food isn't obsessive. It's the way you look at it, which means it's got nothing to do with the food itself or tracking itself. It's got to do with your mindset. So that's why I wanted to lean personally into fiction, just to give people an understanding that like the action you're doing is not the thing that is obsessive or that is bad for you, or is that it's negative. It's the way that you see it. It's your perception of it. And usually the perception is based off of like your previous experience, right?
Yeah. And I think, just to preface, like, tracking is a fantastic tool to learn portion sizes, to learn nutrient quality of your foods, to learn what's in it, how to structure your plate to best benefit you, your health, and your goals. So there's so many positive outcomes that are going to come from tracking, including, energy intake and making sure that you're eating enough for your goal right now. Like, the benefits are endless, and I think it's a fantastic tool. But like you said, it's not obsessive in terms of the act of tracking itself. You just need to be making sure the mindset you're going into it with aligns.
Yeah. This is why I hate generally when people, and I know you don't like this either, when people have statements that they make that are like, so what's the word you use?
I don't know, but it's kind of like black and white thinking.
It is black and white
two-dimensional
thinking. Yeah, but
silly.
Silly. But there's something that you actually call it. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, it's on the tip of my tongue, but you guys will know what I mean. It is black and white thinking, and those bold statements that people make, they piss me off because it's actually not correct. When someone goes, tracking is obsessive, or like, tracking's bad for your mental health. It's like, whoa. It's not. It's your perception of it.
Because, yeah, how come it works for some people?
That's right. So it's like, I just think we've got to be very careful in our approach and our headspace, and understanding that if it's obsessive to you, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But it's not the tracking and the act of doing it. As we've said, it's your mindset around it, which is usually linked to other things like, previous experience of dieting history or mental health and those sorts of things. Or potentially maybe you're just somebody who's super hyperfixated on numbers.
I was just going to say, your personality is going to determine that as well. So just keep that in mind. And it doesn't mean that if it's not the best approach for you in this time, it doesn't mean that the issue is tracking. It just might be not aligned with where you are now.
Yeah, agreed. What's the next one we've got?
Next fact or fiction we've got, if you're not losing weight every week, the plan isn't working.
That's fiction. That is false. And this is something that people get caught out with so much, hey?
Yeah, I think it's also hard when let's just say you're the one seeing this and you're the one that's, likely going to be reacting to it emotionally, thinking, oh, fuck, I'm not losing weight today and I was yesterday. I'm going to adjust my plan entirely, bump my steps up and add an extra training session, drop 500 calories.
Which people do, like, they get very reactive, and it's fair because, as you said, it's from an emotional place, because you're emotional because you care, and that's a great thing. However, when your emotion takes over in anything that you do, it becomes a problem very, very quickly. So the issue that we face here is that if you are somebody who isn't seeing a scale weight drop on a specific week or day when you expected one, or you saw the scale weight increase, you instantly think that you've done something wrong, that you're going backwards, that you're not making progress. Then you get in your head about it, and then you like literally start to spiral. Like, people spiral. And this is where, again, we have issues with relationship with self, because people constantly making changes and then they're not consistent with anything. They're not seeing progress. And it's just this whole like mess. So one of the biggest things I would say here is if you know you're a very emotionally reactive person around your results and you know that you haven't had that like time with somebody overviewing it for you, it's important to do a couple of things. One, I would actually start by like educating yourself on how scale weight works, whether that is with a coach or just doing your own kind of research. The other thing I would say though is don't just jump on the scales, because a lot of the time when people are going through this, I think it's because they're jumping on the scale, seeing that number and then making it mean something, versus like if you actually were to track your scale weight every single day over a week and see what the average is, or if you don't want to do it every day, we actually don't get our clients to do that. It's just something you can do. We get our clients to do it once a fortnight, but if you want to do it once a week or once a fortnight and then just have a look at it over time, if it's trending down over time, that's a good sign. And one of the biggest things that we say to our clients, which I love, because I think it's just a bit of a perspective shift, is it's not the singular scale weight or measurement that counts. It's the trend that we see over multiple days, weeks, and months. And when you can look at it from that view, then you can kind of go into it objectively and go, okay, well, this scale weight is saying, I don't know, 58 kilos. Last week said 60. Next week, say 61. The week after says 55. Okay, cool. I've seen a big drop over that 4-week period.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important to view it as, I think, less of it from an emotional perspective in terms of, oh, I weigh this much. Literally, it's hard to do, but just seeing it as a number, it's a data. It's a data. It's a piece of data. It's a piece of information. And, you also have other measures of data as well, including, your body stats and progress photos. So many other measurements in terms of how to track your progress. So just understanding that, you have to look at it objectively, as hard as it is to do so. And I also wanted to touch base on the fact of what you said earlier, scale weight does fluctuate, and that's normal, because if you didn't, that's
strange,
concerning, because you're not a robot, like you're a human being. And just to name a few of the things that we, always do tell our clients, where you're at in your cycle is going to have a massive impact on your scale weight, how much sodium you've had yesterday, literally last night.
Yeah, so like the sodium or the salt that you're eating in your foods. For example, people are always heavier on the scales after they eat takeaway, and that's just because of the sodium levels. Yeah. Another one, sleep, stress levels. If you're carrying higher stress, that your cortisol's higher, and you're likely to hold on to more scale weight. And sleep, what you've eaten the day before, water, exercise, so many things. Yeah, so many things. Because this is the thing, like I always remind our clients that the human body is super complex. So because the human body is so complex, you've got to understand that the complexity of your fluctuations are going to match the complexity of the body. So I feel like that's a good one. Next one we've got is, you already said that one. Eating out ruins your progress.
Fiction.
Yeah, I know, but how many people believe that?
Yeah, it's actually, fair enough. It is quite wild, but it does not. And the simple reason being is because, what you do majority of the time is going to matter so much more, and it's going to take precedence over how you, I guess if you have a physical goal, how you look, than one meal off track, so to say.
Well, the thing is, like, if you think of it this way, let's say you eat 3 meals a day, that's 21 meals in a week. That's right, isn't it? Is that 20? Yeah.
3 meals,
21 meals in a week. And then if you eat out twice, all of a sudden that's 19 meals made at home and 2 meals out. I think the 19 is going to far outweigh the 2, and that's where people don't see it. They don't break it down and look at it from that view. It's like they look at it from the view of, oh my God, I've eaten now and now I'm going to put weight on, or now I've gone off track, and that's kind of where we go back into that all or nothing thinking. But when you can look at it from a view of like, okay, well, if I'm eating 21 meals a week and only 2 of them I've eaten out, that's pretty damn good. Nothing to add.
Nothing to add. It's true. I really hope the more, we talk about this over the podcast, the less people come to be afraid of food and doing things outside of, being on track.
Yeah, agreed.
The next one that I have is you should stop coaching when life gets busy. True.
No.
I'm joking.
This is false. I hate this because this is something we see so often. And like, I love you guys. I know that shit happens in life. Life can get hectic. It can get busy. But what I see time and time again is people deciding to stop coaching because a big life event's happened, or it's a busy time of year, or they just have so many reasons as to why they can't continue coaching. And the fundamental thing that we always stand by is this is the exact time that you need it the most. Because if you're busy, if your goals matter to you, right, and you're busy, or you've had some life events happen, or you've got some things coming up that you're trying to navigate, how the fuck are you going to navigate it on your own if you don't know how? And if your goals are important and you want to see them through in some way, shape, or form, even if it's not to the same level of intensity you've been doing it, wouldn't it make more sense to have a coach hold you accountable, to have a coach support you, to be able to have someone to lean on through the stress and anxiety you're going through, than to decide to hang that up, go out on your own and try and navigate it on your own when we all know that that's not going to happen. Like, I just think that there are so many other ways that you can handle this than just deciding to give it up.
Yeah, honestly, you've touched on all of the points. I think it's just, it's disappointing when we say it because we obviously know that you can get to your goals even if life is busy, but not even just get to your goals. We know you should still be prioritizing your health when things are busy. Actually, you need to be prioritizing your health.
Health is all you've got.
Health is all you've got, and it's going to help you navigate those stressful times. So rather than, picking things up or dropping them back down when things get busy, allow yourself the opportunity to be taught how to navigate that.
Yeah, well,
whilst it's happening.
Well, because otherwise you're not going to learn how. Well, because the thing is, right, life is hectic. It's chaotic. You never know what's going to come. And if you don't learn how to navigate your goals when something comes up the first time, that means the second, third, fourth, 10th, 100th time something happens, you're just getting yourself into the habit of stopping and starting. Then you wonder why you never get there. And the reason I think because we talk about this all the time, I know the reason we talk about this all the time is because we see it too often. And I feel like a broken record.
It just also sucks because I find that it always happens when someone's doing so well.
So well, I know.
And then something happens and I understand they get stressed and it's like they're coming from at a place of, oh, I'm in like a stress response. I don't want to deal with that now. It's an added pressure. And then they leave their amazing progress and then they go backwards and they come back to us 6 months later and they're like, oh, I want to do it again.
Yeah, which happens. I'm telling you, we've got clients that have come back 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
So, and it's sad because it's like, well, this could have been dealt with already. It's fine. We understand. We're passionate and we understand, like, fuck, when no one's perfect and, you've got to go through these things and learn along the way. But it's also just because we see this pattern unfold so often, it's something that's like, it needs to be spoken about. So just remember that, guys. If you are struggling with a busy period or something's a bit stressful in your world at the moment, remember your coach is on your team. We're actually here to support you. We're not here to, do anything against what is best for you. So I think you should listen to your coach in that moment and see if there's anything we can do to make it better. Next one we have is you have to cut out snacks or fun foods to make progress.
Yeah, it goes back to what we said before, and that's also false. You do not need to do that. It's, literally what you do 95% of the time, majority of the time, that is going to allow you to see results, allow you to maintain results as well. So just keep that in mind, that one piece of chocolate after you've eaten 3 fantastic nutrient-dense meals at the end of the day, or even 2 blocks of chocolate, whatever it is, it's fine.
Yeah, well,
how is that going to impact anything?
I yesterday ate half a block of chocolate.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm so crazy.
But yes.
But the thing is, right, like, let me take you through a day of my eating yesterday because it's on the forefront of my mind. You guys are going to love this. So for breakfast, I had a blueberry smoothie, pretty healthy. Then I also had a second breakfast because, I can. So I had eggs on toast with hash browns with avocado. And then for lunch, I was so full from my 2 breakfasts that I had lunch at 1:30 and it was half a block of chocolate. And I was like, well, it happens. And then after that, I went and I had a bowl of fruit with some yogurt, and then I had a homemade pizza for dinner. So notice this. I didn't let that half block of chocolate ruin the rest of my meals. What I did, though, is focus on health for every meal but that block of chocolate. And I'm telling you, it was good.
Yeah, it would have been good, and you wouldn't have felt guilty at all, and you would have had a good day.
Yeah, it was a great day, actually. Yeah. And my point is, like, it doesn't have to be that deep because of the fact that, like, I know in myself that I'm enjoying it, I moved on from it. And I think that's where most people struggle. The reason that they try to cut snacks out or limit their fun foods is because, again, it comes back to what we spoke about a few episodes ago. It's that self-trust and that ability to be able to, like, have something like that and then make the next decision mean something by getting back on track with health You know what I mean? Rather than it seeing it as a position of like, oh, I've done this, now I've fucked up.
Yeah, and I also just want to preface that from like an evidence-based perspective, your ability to make progress comes down to how much energy intake you have throughout the day. So let's just say your goal is to lose weight. We need to reduce the amount of energy that you're taking in. And, you know, you can still do that if you have chocolate, because it doesn't really matter. What matters is how much you've consumed throughout the day.
Yeah, it's a total meals throughout the day versus how much you burn in energy, which is not just through exercise. That's through like, God, like even sitting here talking to you guys now, we're burning energy, right? We're like moving around, talking, whatever. Your body's burning energy all the time. And the other thing is too, like you could have 500 calories of chocolate or 500 calories of like chicken salad and oil, if you will, and you know, one you deem healthy, the other you don't, but they're both the same content of calories. It's not going to, like, obviously it's going to make a difference from a health perspective, but it's not going to make a difference in terms of progress.
Yes. I was listening to a podcast on this the other day. It was really cool, and it just showed that, you know, somebody that had the same caloric intake, but they had all takeaway food for 8 weeks, still saw fantastic body composition changes, still saw fat loss. And obviously they're not promoting to do that, but they did it as a way to just prove that at the end of the day, your caloric intake matters.
Yeah, it's the most important thing. What podcast was that?
It was Lane Norton's podcast.
Oh,
actually.
love. Yeah. He's good. Yeah. I mean, he's probably a little bit heavy for some of you guys, but
it was just cool. It was like cool evidence-based practice, and it's just constant
very,
studies.
Like, evidence-based, science-based studies. If you want something like super deep and detailed, he's like a really good go-to.
The next one is fact or fiction. You should always be dieting or building.
Yes. Okay. This one is obviously a fiction. But I think something that people get caught up in, thinking that you should be in a phase at all times, like dieting or building. There is so much power in maintenance. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, so much power in maintenance. And I think that's the other thing when it comes to like coaching too, hey, is people think that if they're in a dieting phase or if they're in the building phase, yeah, like cool, get a coach. But then as soon as the phase is over and they're in maintenance, coaching's not as important, which by the way, like I do actually agree with to some account, because obviously if you've got the habits in place, you've maintained it, and you know how to just live a healthy life, that's perfect. But I think like too many people are always trying to move to the next thing without just spending time at maintenance and enjoying it.
Yeah, because in a maintenance phase, you know, you can actually basically enjoy your lifestyle without having to have a specific focus on a physique goal. So you can maintain the progress that you have already made, keep a lot of the habits, but actually have the flexibility to enjoy yourself and, you know, go out a little bit more often than you would in a deficit, you know, not have to focus so heavily on, you know, your caloric intake in terms of being as specific and regimented with it.
I also think too, like if you've spent like quite a bit of time learning about nutrition and you get to a point where like you've tracked your macros for a long period of time, or you've been on a meal plan or whatever, and you know roughly what's in the food you're eating, maintenance isn't a fantastic opportunity for people to put what they've learned into practice and to just enjoy life and maintain where they're at, and then not worry about like those bits and pieces. Because do you know what I have to say? I don't like client cancellations because we love our clients so much, but the most enjoyable and cancellations we get, and the ones that I'm like, fuck yes, like I'm actually like, yes, please leave, is when like they're genuinely ready to, and they've like gone through their phase and they're like, hey, I'd really love to just like maintain this on my own now. And I'm like, fuck yes, because it means we've done our job, right? We've taught them everything they need to know, and they can just go out and enjoy it. It's a bit bittersweet, but it's so good because like the amount of people that can then just like maintain their results and live in maintenance and enjoy life and not worry so much about it. It's a nice place to be.
And it's a psychological break as well from consistently, you know, putting all this pressure on yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Not everyone has goals all the time. Like, I mean, what's your goal at the moment?
I'm just maintaining.
Yeah, see?
I'm just cruising.
That's good. And like, do you have like a physical goal you're working towards, or just?
No, I'm just always just maintaining what I'm done, maintaining my habits, maintaining my practices.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But it's good because it's just kind of like, that's just life, right? That's like me, you know, like I'm in a phase at the moment where, I mean, I'm obviously not dieting, and that would be weird. But that whole thing of like eat for two is so not true either. I'm not building. I'm not building. I guess just maintaining living my life. I'm actually, guys, I'm the most chill I've ever been at the moment.
You are very chill. I will give you that.
Like, I'm like, this is not. I
It's
was
weird.
saying to Roberta before, I was like, I do not feel like myself because I'm like usually the person's like, I've got so many goals, big goals to tick off, like in my personal life and as well as like business. But you know, like physical, like I'm building or I'm cutting or I'm doing whatever, and like I'm tracking all my macros and I'm getting up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to the gym. Like, I'm telling you, I'm doing none of that at the moment. I'm like not tracking, which I'm loving because I'm just enjoying life and enjoying food, but like obviously able to maintain my weight because I know what is going in the food I'm eating. I'm waking up at like 7:30 in the morning at the moment.
It's still early.
No, I think
Like, it's not like I get it because I do like
what time do you wake up?
I naturally now wake up at like 6:30.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. I don't want to, but I do.
What would be like the ideal wake up time for you?
like 8?
yeah, okay. That's way too late.
To me, that makes
That's
sense.
like half my day's gone, which is why when I wake up at 7:30, which by the way, it's nice, but I'm like, I feel like I've lost half the day. Anyway, I feel like I've gotten on a sidetrack, but my point is maintenance phases are nice and sometimes it's good to just sit in them.
Yes.
The
next one
yes.
is
Strength training won't help with weight loss.
yes, very wild. That is very much fiction.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do think that cardio is the best bet though, hey?
Yeah, they do. They do still think that. I guess I just forget that that is a thing because I obviously know that that is not the case.
Yeah.
Like running through the reason why strength training, and I don't even want to say strength training versus cardio, you know, both are great, but you know, if your goal is fat loss, strength training is going to be so beneficial for you. Your ability to, firstly, why it's important to keep, you know, to maintain muscle mass, to build muscle mass. And muscle mass is metabolically active tissue, which just means basically that it's a tissue in your body that works at rest. So it's going to be working and burning calories at rest.
Yeah.
And whilst I don't want to be putting too much emphasis on burning calories, when you're in a fat loss phase, yeah, that is your primary goal.
Yeah.
So it's going to be super beneficial and it's important to maintain that, especially if you are in a calorie deficit, because the likelihood of you, when you're in a fat loss phase, you're going to be, a percentage of your scale weight drop is going to come from fat loss and the other percentage is going to come from lean body mass. But your ability to differentiate how much of that is going to come from fat loss is going to be whether you're adhering to a strength training program or not.
Yeah, well, because the thing is, right, if you don't strength train, you're going to be more at risk of losing more muscle mass, which means like the scale weight could go down, for example, 5 kilos. But if you lose 3 kilos of muscle and 2 kilos of body fat, the way you think you're going to look 5 kilos down is not how you're going to look 5 kilos down, because all of a sudden you still look soft. And it's like, why is that? Well, because you just lost 3 kilos of muscle. And that's why like cardio has its place. Like it's good for cardiovascular health, obviously, and endurance and that sort of thing. But from a position of like actually just prioritizing your body composition, which, you know, that's what it is. If people want to lose weight, it's not always to get the scale weight down, especially for someone who's like a little bit leaner and wants to lose weight. 90% of the time it's because you have a vision of what that's going to look like on you. You're not losing weight to look softer. You're losing weight to look leaner. But if you lose muscle, you're going to look softer.
I think it's so crazy because I guess like the lies that we've been fed, especially as women, like for so long in terms of, you know, not like the very thing that you need to be doing to look the way you want to look, that's not the thing that anyone has been preached or is being done.
Isn't that just life though? How many I'm about to get into a fucking conspiracy here, but I'm telling you, life is not what you think it is. We live in a fucking
simulation.
We live in a simulation. And like it's a whole thing like this, it's all been done on purpose. So you've just got to be smart enough to do your own research. Anyway, I will stop there because otherwise we'll end up, the podcast won't be fitness anymore.
Yeah, so please strength train, guys.
Yeah.
It is very important for you in not just fat loss, but in health.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one we have. Oh, okay. Next one is hormones affect weight loss. Now, this one, I need to preface because I'm going to say it's fact because it obviously is, but only to a degree. And this is something that is super, super important. So especially at the moment, like what is killing me at the moment on social media is everyone's talking about hormone health and how to fix your hormones and how to fix your gut and how to do all these things. And it's like, Jesus, guys, just settle down. There are going to be certain conditions. And also remember what I'm about to say here. I'm not a doctor, okay? But there are going to be certain conditions that are going to affect your hormones, and your hormones are directly correlated to things like your leptin and ghrelin, which are your hunger hormones, but also related to like women's health. So there are going to be certain conditions where hormones can affect your fat loss. It doesn't mean it can stop fat loss, but it can affect it. You know, for example, we work with some clients that have PCOS, endometriosis, which can like disrupt hormone balance. What we've noticed with those women is that we have to change the strategy slightly because their ability to lose fat it's harder. It's not impossible. It's just harder. So like I'm thinking of one of my good friends who's also a client, Chloe, and she's got PCOS and she's nearly 10 kilos down now, but we had to change the strategy and be very specific around it because of her hormone health. And also it just took longer for her to lose weight. So what I'm here to say is like hormones, yes, can affect your ability to lose weight, but not as much as you guys think, because we're being fed so much at the moment around fix your hormones, hormone health, for people who don't have medical conditions, who don't have issues with their hormones, but blame their hormones because they don't know any better.
I also want to add on to that in terms of hormonal health, the things that are going to help you, you know, regulate your hormones and maintain a healthy hormonal balance is going to be the boring things that they don't talk about.
Training, your nutrition,
your sleep,
not the
your
deep bloat
stress
drink
levels
that your favorite influencer is selling you.
No, it's not the drinks. It's literally the boring shit that we don't, like, no one wants to do it. It's not marketable because no one's going to feed you stuff for sleep. Oh, they actually will. They will find something.
No, they will. They've got all this fucking hemp stuff now,
yes.
You know, like.
But yeah, the stuff that's super important and that's actually going to help you regulate, again, maintain a healthy hormonal balance is those, you know, really big and important things. Yeah. And rather than focusing on that, you know, taking that away and focusing on fixing this one little issue.
With a $60 supplement that is going to do fuck all for you.
Yes. And then thinking you can't lose weight because of that when you haven't even applied those other things that have been proven for decades to work.
Yeah. And then this is where as well, if we really want to take it down the next level, this is where like those GLP-1s come in. So then people talk about weight loss medications. And they talk about, you know, like my hormones I can't lose weight. I'm just going to get on a fat loss drug. And then they do that, which once again takes them away from the basics, doesn't actually help them with building habits. And then they get into this rut where they put all the weight back on plus some. And also it's very, very detrimental for your health. Like I'm going to say something that I will be proven right or wrong in probably about 10 years. Okay. But what I truly believe. So if you think about like smoking 30, 40 years ago, everyone was doing it. Nobody knew the health side effects from it. And then all of a sudden it came out that smoking was really bad. It caused cancer, all these things, right? And then now the government has got this whole like thing on smoking. Like you see the ads. I actually don't think they even run ads anymore. But you see all the packaging and people, they try to scare you off because of all of the side effects. I'm telling you, these fat loss medications, give it 10, 20 years and all of these side effects are going to start coming out and it's not going to be healthy for people.
Fair enough. I mean, we can't comment yet because there's obviously
it hasn't happened, but I've just got this, like, I've got this same thing with like vaping. I've got this
vaping's been proven to not be helpful.
But see, this is the thing. How do fat loss drugs, how are they not detrimental to the body in some way? I'm telling you. Give it time. Give it time, guys.
I think let's just say it's not even the detrimental of the actual drug itself. It's the like detrimental in terms of health because of the yo-yo.
And also you're now all of a sudden reducing your intake and eating 500 to 800 calories a day. Yeah. And like, you know what I mean? It's a whole.
And the amount of people that put their weight back on after it's just not good.
And let's talk about hormone health for a second, right? I'm trying not to go on a tangent, but I'm going on one. We're talking about hormone health and how people think that that's disrupting their hormones when like their hormones are being disrupted, therefore they can't lose weight. So then they go on these fat loss medications. Do you not think your hormones would be way more disrupted by eating 800 calories a day, going on a medication that is not normal for you and not natural, and then not really fueling your body properly? Would that not disrupt your hormones more? Like the amount of women that I've know personally who have gone on these GLP-1s, lost their periods because their hormones are fucked because they're not eating enough. Lost a shit ton of weight too quickly. And also then the energy is fucked as well. Like it kind of contradicts the reason people go on them in the first place. I want you guys to be really, really careful with that. I'm not anti-weight loss medication. I'm not actually anti-drug for a few reasons. First of all, I don't think I have enough education on them to really be anti-drug. I think that they have their place with the right type of people who maybe have medical conditions or maybe do need that extra support. But what I truly believe is if you're going to go on one of these things because of your hormone health or just generally because you're struggling to lose weight, as long as you're doing it with guidance, I think that there are benefits. But I also think that people just need to be really careful.
Last one is you only need a coach when dieting.
This one is, again, false. And I think it comes back to what we were saying before. It's important to be able to work with a coach in multiple phases to learn different things. And I think like maintenance is a great time to work with a coach initially because you're going to then learn how to maintain your results and your health. I also think that so many clients come to us to diet, and when they finish their dieting phases, they go to leave and we're like, whoa, what about the reverse?
Yeah, that's always such a crucial part is, again, you've seen so much amazing progress and you're like, oh, great, I've reached my goal. Well, what after that? Like, what's going to happen after that? You haven't actually taken yourself through that reverse phase. And a reverse phase is basically your chance to solidify all the all the progress that you've made. Doing it on your own, I don't want to say impossible, but like, come on, like realistically, it is so challenging.
A reverse on your own?
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay, so you are.
Hang on a minute.
Don't do it.
I've been a coach for nearly 10 years. I will never reverse on my own. It's so hard. The reverse is harder than the diet.
It's so boring and because you're still hungry.
And that's the thing.
You're not reaping the benefits.
That's exactly why. You've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly why mentally it's so hard because you've reached the goal. You feel good. You just want to go back to eating normally. You're hungry. You're not reaping the benefits. So the dopamine, like the feel-good hormone, you're not really getting because you're not seeing consistent progress. So you've got to look at it from a long-term perspective of like, no, in like 8 weeks, in 12 weeks, in 3 months, this is going to be so good for me. But it's then becomes that like instant gratification and it's so hard to do.
Yeah. You don't have the like education behind understanding when to increase calories, just a bunch of other reasons. So please, if you're in a reverse phase or if you're just finishing your fat loss phase, just stick it out. Stick out the course. You have to because you've already done such a great job.
Otherwise, guarantee 6 months the weight will be back.
It's disappointing and it'll be such a shame to have that happen.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It would be because you put so much hard work in for like 12, 16, 20 weeks. And then imagine putting all that back on just because you didn't like do a reverse. Also, red flag, if your coach goes, oh, diet's over. And they don't put you through a reverse.
Do you think people do that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I think people do that.
Oh.
Well, I was just thinking about like our last episode, we were talking about like online, no, we were talking about online coaching.
Yeah.
In our last episode. And we were talking about how like coaches will do their course and then go straight into online coaching. And the course teaches you nothing and then they're taking online clients. Do you think any of them would even know what a reverse is?
Oh no.
Exactly.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
People just have to do their reps. That's all it is. Because the thing is as well, like I'm not mad about that in the sense that like this is where the fitness industry is a bit broken.
Yeah, they don't have isn't it a governing body?
There's no governing body over the fitness industry. Obviously there's like Fitness Australia, or what do they call it now? It's like ESSA.
Oh yeah.
I forget what they've called it. It's called
standard. Yeah.
Something else now, but it's not legally required to be a part of that. And even if you pay a yearly fee and they give you like access to like free courses, you don't get anything from them. Anyway, my point is that when it comes to like the fitness industry, it's a bit broken in the sense that everyone starts somewhere. Like I totally understand this. I started somewhere, right? When I took on my first lot of clients, which was back in like 2017, 2018, actually in Sydney, I was working out of Anytime Fitness. I feel bad for those clients because I didn't know anything. And then people were trusting me with their fitness. And don't get me wrong, some of them saw results, some of them didn't. But that's because I hadn't put the reps in yet. Everyone has to go through that icky stage where you're taking people's money, you're working with them. Obviously, you're putting time and effort in, but then you can't guarantee them a result because you just don't know what you're doing yet. And where the system is broken is like everyone has to go through that and then clients are the ones that suffer. And that is something that like I don't even know how you would fix that.
Yeah, I think just the only thing is as a coach, like obviously I was in the same boat. When I came to you, there was so many things I wasn't, educated on yet. But then I actually, on top of working with you and asking you heaps of questions, I would then go away, do my own courses, take that time to make sure I'm staying up to date on studies, understanding how the human body works, and just keeping up to date with my practices.
Yeah, which is so important. Like it's vital for you to do as a coach. It's actually negligent if you don't. But I just think like, the system is broken there a little bit. And because of that, we then have like clients, as I said, the ones that suffer. So the one thing to be mindful of with that is like, if you are a client, just making sure that you are keeping an eye on where you're at and how much experience a coach has that you're working with. Like, you know, I have always said, like, I think that you should be dieting with a coach always, because there's so many psychological elements that come into place with dieting as well as physical things. And it's not just as simple as like drop your calories and move more. But then I also think when it comes to like dieting or building or anything like that, there are going to be certain coaches with experience levels that can support you more. Like, my thought process is most coaches are probably fine to help you build. It's not that hard to go through a building phase in terms of like the logistics behind it. Dieting, yeah, probably need a bit of experience. Reversing, though, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. You know what I mean?
But otherwise, those are our fact or fictions for today. Please pop into the comment section as well if you guys still have any questions about anything or anything that you want debunked, or if anything you've been wondering for a while. We would love to go through that in the next episodes.
Yeah, that way we can make sure that, you know, you guys are feeling as educated as possible. That's what the podcast is for. But yeah, we'll hear from you, hopefully. But otherwise, we'll speak to you soon.
Bye, guys.